Boker Tov, Yom Tov, Zorim Tovim, and Laila Tov, no matter where you are at. This is Carrie Ann. I'm going to speak from my heart today. And I just said good morning, good day, good afternoon, and good evening. And I want to share a few things. First of all, this is kind of off topic of what I wanted to share. But I did want to say that as we are encouraging people to study the languages, I would like to let everybody know that please do not let the language barrier stop you, meaning I know that some of you may be thinking that you're having to learn a new language, you're having to write it, you're having to read it like a book, and then speak it, and that's what we're saying, and it's not. My husband and I cannot speak the language, and we cannot read it like a book, yet we know it and we study it, and I know that seems pretty contradictory to what it sounds like we're saying, but it really isn't. It's meant to be a word study, literally word by word, letter by letter. And if my husband and I can do it, anybody can. So please do not let that stop you if you think that you are not capable of learning this as a study tool. It is possible. We've done it. I just want to encourage you to be able to start looking at the letters one at a time. I am currently doing teachings right now. I'm working on the Aleph right now. That's why I haven't posted. But I did want to at least put something out there so that you know that we're still thinking about you. And we have lots that we would like to share in the process of presenting and making these teachings available to you. So having said that, I had kind of a revelation come to me. Well, it wasn't a new revelation. It was just something that I felt like I wanted to share, and I posted it on Facebook, and I know that many of the subscribers here on this channel aren't on Facebook or don't know that I have a Facebook page after being off of it for 7 years. So I wanted to share with you something that I wrote just a couple days ago. Actually, it might have even just been yesterday. So this is what I shared. So this is in regards to the word Satan, and it means adversary, and I see it as an energetic frequency, as a catalyst. I'm always thankful now for all of the catalysts, which pain and suffering are considered catalysts, that I went through to grow me up and to push me up and out my personal exodus of my lower ways of thinking. If our life was rosy and perfect, we would never grow or seek change. We would just be living and doing in a paradise-like state and staying the same, when there's a much greater process to our journey. Suffering is man's making, as they are in the process of discovering who they are, what good and bad is, right and wrong, through our own decision-making and our own temptations. The adversary within us is that which provides the suffering within, so that we will seek answers within new ways of thinking and feeling to get us up and out of our suffering. This adversarial component will remain, igniting pain and suffering until we rise up out of our beast ego into our sovereignty and recognize that we are all one. Oneness is the transcendence of the adversarial component, Satan, because it is at that moment that you realize that you are one with the adversary. You as ego are your own adversary. Your ego, out of control as the beast, is Satan within you. Coming to this knowledge, and then it releases you from Satan, as well as all of the pain and suffering that you have endured. You will then look upon it with thanksgiving as one who is grateful to have come out on the other side of it, completely changed and transformed into something new, whole and completed, seeing the purpose of the journey while here in the system of duality. This is not head knowledge, but rather heart revealing that will result in a changed perspective. I will say to you that there are also outside influences that can be considered the adversary as well. And the spirit of mother is one of those, because the spirit of mother will come against anything that is not becoming, as her whole process is to be able to reveal the Father to you. But there is a standard of measurement required in order for that gate to be opened. So there is an external adversary as well as the internal adversary. And technically you are one with both of them. So let's take a look. I will show you through some slides to look at Satan through the Hebrew and Aramaic letters, because there's three things that really stand out. First, the story found within the letters themselves. Second, the letters actually change from the original root word and morph into something different. And then third, the first use of the word in the writings, which is also known as the law of first mention. And the law of first mention takes the first time a word is used and then uses it kind of as a plumb line for all other mentions following after it. So in looking at the first thing, when we look through the letters themselves, we have this. And again, I am sharing this with you. I'm not telling you. This is my way of seeing it through interpretation. The consuming fire of Father, that you will wrestle in the mud of man through the seraphic message, so that you can either grasp a hold of or continue on in the muddy basket of the world while in the fallen flesh nature through the activity of life, which is actually meant to produce heirship. So in looking at the letters, there's already a wrestle in it because of the tet. That's a wrestling in the mud, in the basket of the world. And we have been needing to be drawn out of that, which then connects the word Moshe, meaning draw up and out through the mem, the waters, the living waters. First, while we're in the chaos, to be able to get into the hidden waters of Shalom of the Father's teaching. And then the sheen, which is the fire, the consuming fire that gets rid of everything that is holding us back. And then the hay, which then reveals that which we need. So we need to be drawn out of this muddy basket and stop our wrestling by connecting to the seraphic message in the system of duality, so that we can see and find the narrow path between the good and evil, realizing that they really are one and the same. That 0 point place where there is no distortion, and you found right in the middle, which is truly the narrow path that few find. This is rendering everything clear into oneness. So then second, we can then see that the letters actually change. And this really is based on our maturation. As we grow and mature, we will see the consuming fire of Father as something that we really want to get out of. And if we listen to the seraphic message of duality and rightly see where we are, and then render it clear in finding the center stand, where you now see that you are good and evil, you are light and dark, you are all potentials as you are as I am. And when that change takes place, it is in that place that the Father's fire is then replaced with the wedding and signet band as a sign that you found the place of now being protected, hedged in and supported by a shield of thorns that protect you. So this is when the sheen is removed and the semek is then put into place. But again, you would not sing this in English. This means that you found the oneness principle, and the frequency of your being has been altered and changed, as having gone from the bride who was waiting in her betrothal to actually becoming queen, who now has the wedding ring and the signet mand. It is then that you become an adversary to the system of duality. But that also means that you have manifested Mashiach within you, the Christ-measured anointing potential that was laying dormant has now been manifested as the thousandfold measure seed of life within you. You are one who was taught, and so now you can teach. You are associated to of having become one with God, as the family of God, as God, having been given authority to speak this revelation to others as a teaching shepherd of light that has overcome the world of duality. And then, moving on, the third point that I wanted to make is the law of first mention. The very first time this word is used, it has an added lamed on the prefix side of the root, meaning that it is pertaining to mother's teaching in the world, the measurement of treating others as you want to be treated. The adversary, as the spirit of mother, is a teaching shepherd of light that opposes you, your beast ego, the light that is within you, Hallel, to instruct you by opposing everything that is not becoming of you as one. The adversary knows that the goal has always been to seek and find the anointing within, becoming it, activating it, becoming as Mashiach. The adversary to the world of duality, through the process of multiplicity as many who will do the greater things, as this is when you become fully changed. It isn't only for one person, it's for many who find it, that which is dormant, activate it and become it. So then once you do, and this anointing is manifested through you, you are now the adversary to the system. But you had to wrestle the adversary first on the outside through mother's teaching, and then the adversarial component within in order to conquer that which is holding you and dimming you, so that you can then become Hallel, the light of the world who opposes the beast system of duality, just like Yeshua did. I am going to finish this in saying this. I didn't really say this on Facebook in totality, but what I am seeing is that when we become the adversary, And especially when we find it through the oneness principle, we then become Satana, as we found one in the world. We found the way of one and we walk in it. This is what I have found in the sacred languages. And becoming Satana shows that we overcame our fallen flesh, beast, ego nature through the spiritual path as we found the seed of life that produced heirship within us and changed our frequency to match that of the oneness field of unity in the anointing as the thousandfold measure, as now we stand in opposition to the system of duality in all things that would continue to seek to divide us. I'm going to leave this here for you to decide what you will make of it, because I'm only sharing my findings through the sacred languages of light and love. And I say all of this so that we can come up higher in our way of thinking, leaving behind old paradigms that left us shackled to fear. And honestly, I hope, with expectancy, that we will all find and become the light of Hillel and stand firm as teaching shepherds who are in opposition to division, meaning as an adversary to all that diminishes the light within humanity, as we seek to unify all through one love. The second Exodus has begun. Shalom, shalom, and namaste.